Okay, guys, yes, I'm back with another one. This is an update and a conclusion to the Expectant Detective. Now, this is our first book on the book club, and I'm gonna give a review. Now, on the Expectant Detective, it was Elsa, it was Alice, it was Hen, and what's the other girl name? I got notes here, y'all, because it's been a while that I read it, and I read so many other books since then. So we got Alice, and Poppy. That's her name. Oop, I can't believe I forgot Poppy. Yes. Well, anyway, let me tell you about this book right here. It was a great book. I'm so happy that I used it for our first book. It had mystery and laughter and adventure and everything else. All right, so if you've been watching the reviews, you already know that the man died during a prenatal class. And these women are pregnant, so they off work, and so they say they're gonna take it upon themselves to find out who killed this guy. Okay, so they going all around, they asking a lot of questions, and they being very nosy, and they finding out a little bit things. Like for one, that they think Hen husband Anthony, they think he's having an affair because he keep meeting up with this certain woman and holding her and hugging her and things like that. So they watching him too. Now, Alice's boyfriend, his name is Joe. Now, Joe keeping secrets too because he's running around meeting with people in this town that he's not supposed to know anybody just like her. But come to find out, every time she meets someone new, it's some kind of connection that Joe was there or Joe knows them. It was this guy named Ronald Pendleton. And he's like this radical or whatever. I'm not sure what he's about, but he has this foundation where he's trying to deliver some kind of message about the way of the world. But before, he used to be with the commune. Yes, he used to be with the commune. He was actually one of the fathers of this commune. Come to find out, this guy, they in the woods, walking around and just trying to find clues. And this is Alice and Poppy, and they find this guy Ronald Pendleton body, and they trying to figure out, oh my goodness, like who killed him? You know what I'm saying? So he wound up dead. You know what I'm saying? He was a rich guy. He lived in this nice big house, this nice big estate somewhere in the town that they was living in. He also had a foundation that he was sponsoring and always talking about and having little events for. Okay, but come to find out, her Alice's boyfriend Joe had some of his flyers, and she said, "I know you're not with this guy, and you don't believe what he believes in because he's like one of them people who has his own ways of thinking about having um people who's not like him around him, yeah, stuff like that." So he was just like, so she was like, I know you're not with him, and he and Joe like, no, 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 I don't know what you're talking about. I just had his flyer. Somebody gave it to me, but then come to find out, when she went and met Mrs. Pendleton, Joe Coat was in their house, and she was like, "Well, how the hell is my man Coat is doing in here?" And she gonna ask him. She said, "When I get home, I'm gonna ask him, and and I want him to tell me. I'm just gonna ask him, do he know them personally, and see what he say." And he was just like, "Look, there's a lot of things I need to explain, but I just can't do it right now." And she was like, so he became a suspect. You know what I'm saying? And then there was this girl, okay, it was a lady on the commune that all the men liked. This her name was Flora. Yes. And all the men had a crush on Flora and wanted to get with Flora, and some of them may have. Yeah. And so Flora got pregnant, and they didn't know who the dad was, but the women who liked these other guys, they probably ran her off. She wound up leaving the commune, not finding her baby daddy or nothing or whatever. And there was this girl who popped up. Her name was Jasmine to the commune. And they was just, and this was years later. Now Jasmine popped up about 10 years prior, but Flora was probably back when they first um when they first created the commune. This was like 40 years ago. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward in time, 10 years prior to that day. it was a girl there named Jasmine, and Jasmine had showed up wanting to be a part of the commune for different kinds of life and this and that. And she was she had got with Rowan. Now come to find out, Elsa, the one who's pregnant, who don't have nobody, her and Rowan had something going on. But he wound up cheating on her with this girl Jasmine. And so she left Roman alone because he had an affair with the girl Jasmine while she was away at school. So they really like on bad terms right now. She really ain't feeling Roman. She don't really want to talk to him. She ain't really got too much to say to him for the fact that he you know he cheated on her. So, but Alice like Rowan, and she just asked him a lot of questions. Now, Rowan's father name is Cam. Cam is the head of the commune. You know, saying he runs the commune. So, so they just asked them a whole bunch of questions about this girl named Jasmine because this girl Jasmine wound up dying. You know, she wound up dying at the commune, and it's all hush hush. Nobody don't want to talk about it, and they trying to figure out, well, why is it so hush hush? What's going on? We need to find out what happened to this girl. So they goes to the newspaper place and go where they got the archives at, and they just looking up the story and come to find out who's there but Rowan hiding some papers. And it was the same paper that they was looking for about the girl named Jasmine. And she was just trying to figure out, they like, well, Rowan must got something to do with this because why is he hiding evidence? Child, let me tell you how. Okay, so get this right. It was the girl Poppy and Alice, the one two pregnant women. They ran into another woman that's Elsa. You know they all part of the investigation. Elsa invited them to like one of these gong. It's like a gong therapy or something like that. So they wound up going and meeting this lady called what was her name? It was so many people, but I can't remember her name, but she was like the head um mistress of this gong place and whatever. And come to find out, they overhear her talking about Crispin, the guy who got was murdered during the prenatal class. And so they was like, and so Crispin also had a partner. And they was like, well, you know, we heard that the partner and this lady who's a mistress of this gong thing, they like really close friends. And so she was, and they can't find Crispin partner to ask her questions about him. Because the lady on the gone place was like, well, listen, me and her, we not even friends no more. And if anybody had a reason to kill Crispin, it would be her because she never liked the way he ran that business and she always wanted to do other things that he didn't want to do. And they had a lot of conflict. So it would be easy for her to get rid of him. And so she could do whatever she wanted to do with the business now that he's not around. So they like, oh, okay, you know. But then come to find out, the one of the witnesses that they seen lady with the gong there the day that Crispin died at the store. Yes, because what happened was Elsa's sister, her name is Detective Harris. She's on the case. And so Elsa went inside her files and they found out that actually the lady who runs the gong therapy was inside the actual store when Crispin died that night. So they was like, and so they like, oh, well, she must have something to do with it. Let me tell you something. It was, listen, that book was incredible. It was a lot going on, but I'm gonna wrap it up for you. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what happened. Let me tell you something. Who killed Crispin and Mr. Ronald Pembleton was Anton. That was Hen's husband, and you know why? Because Jasmine was actually his sister, and she had died, and he felt as though they was responsible. And how Jasmine died was she had cancer, and she went to the commune for a natural healing remedy. And they felt as though that Cam should have told her, no, you go to the doctor and get your because her cancer was too far and too aggressive for the herbs and the things and his home remedies that he was trying to give her. But he was just so into it, and he just thought that maybe he could help her and cure her. But she wound up getting worse and dying. And so Antony, he blamed them. So that's why he killed Crispin. What happened was he took Crispin was actually the guy who was gave her all the different remedies because he was this do it, I guess. And so let me tell you how he what happened was when they went there that night and they had the prenatal class, Antony talked to Kristen about it, and Kristen was just like, look, I did my best to try to help her, and that's why he actually left the commune because he felt guilty about her dying. You know what I'm saying? He and Crispin and Cameron, they had this big argument about it, and he was like, you really should have sent her to the doctor. You knew she was really bad off with this cancer, and we knew we couldn't help her no longer. That she needed to go see a professional. And they had this big blowout, and that was the reason why they actually had a falling out. Okay, so get this, guys. All right, so Antonio got mad. He was like, "Yeah," and so what he did was Crispin was turned his head. He seen the little jar on one of his little tables, and he poured it in his tea. So some getting there, he got a little home remedy for you since you wanted. But he said he didn't know that stuff that he poured in his tea was going to actually kill him. That was a mistake. But he wound up killing Ronald Pendleton because he found out about who Antony was, and he didn't want him to tell anyone so he could get caught for killing Kristen. So that's why he killed him. And he basically wanted to kill him also because he felt as though like he was responsible for his sister's death. So he said, "Well, good riddance." He went to go talk to him, and they got into a scuffle, and he fell off this cliff and hit his head and died. So then now he was going towards Cam, and they kind of caught him trying to get Cam, beat him up, and kill him. That's how they caught him red-handed with Cameron. He had him all gripped up, ready to hurt him. He said, because you never know. He said these guys they be playing doctor, and they just yes, mm, yes, it was deep. It was deep. But come to find out, Joe. Now this girl Flora that they was all fighting over almost 40 years ago or something like that. Come to find out that Joe is her son. So he went came to the town to try to find his dad because he never knew who his dad was. And Flora just said it was either between Cam, Ronald, or Kristen. Now Kristen and Ronald is dead. But then they did a DNA and they figured out that the father was actually Cameron, the actual guy who's still alive who runs the commune. And so I was like, well, why you ain't tell me this? Why you ain't tell me you was looking for your father? Because he was like, I just wanted to do this on my own, something that I wanted to do by myself. And I'm sorry for keeping this from you, but it was just something that I had to do on my own. And she was like, Dad, I'm thinking you a killer that you didn't kill these guys. Because it seemed like everywhere that Joe went, that guy ended up dead. You know what I'm saying? So Joe was a suspect too, but it was Miss Anthony. And him was devastated. That she was right there when he confessed it all and told everything what happened. And the woman that they thought that he was running around with, that was actually his sister, Jasmine, best friend, and she also was concerned about her death and thought that they was responsible too. So she was in on it with them to get them back for not killing her but not helping her enough, I guess. Yeah, well. Yeah, but that was it though. That was the Expected Detective, guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. That was a great book. I really enjoyed it, and it had me going. I didn't know who did what and what was going on, but it kept the mystery up. Yeah, yeah. A great book. Yeah, a great author. All right, guys, so that was it. And I want to thank everyone who joined my book club and who read the book and enjoyed it and commented. Your thoughts are really appreciated and welcome. So I want to say thanks, guys, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you.